Yeah, what is up? The Moonscars in our studio. During the opening portion of the game, you will hear what the some only voice work in the entire game and is extensively delivered. What flows is back, mermaid, setting the stage and a tone for overarching misery of the Moonscars, which naturally will have you asking a lot of questions as we join this world in the latter stage of the story. Finding yourself in control of a character named Gray Irma with a head full of questions and eye full of stunning pixel art, you set off your answers. Gray Irma is a claymore, which is basically a shell created in the image of the human containing a part of the original human's personality and consistence. These Clayborn, which boast an army and number, are crafted by a character known as the Sculptor. The Sculptor serves as the game's primary antagonist and is the dividing force of the misery that surrounds Gray Irma and the world of the Moonscars. The story itself is very well written with a host of interesting characters. Moonscars continues an excellent story that explores themes of identity and what it means to both literally and figuratively break the mold. Simultaneously, Moonscars pose similar philosophical questions as throughout the experiment, Ship of Thesis. I won't divulge further, and the story Moonscars is best experienced with the mystery intact. There are moments which had me striving for the next story beat to see where this game was going. Not to mention some elements of the overarching story are illegal to core gameplay mechanics, which is really nice touch. The gameplay in Moonscars is word awesome, armed with traditional light and heavy attacks and dodge functionally. It feels familiar but visceral and acquiescent. Not to mention very satisfying the parry system, having played more than 12 2D Souls-like, no one feels quite as good as Moonscars. Melee combat is also include the special attacks, however the catch with the specialists is you will lose them once you transverse an ornate mirror. Mirrors are a checkpoint system that also transport you back to the workshop. The workshop is a hub where you can talk to the characters, discover lore, purchase abilities and items. Doubling back to the special moves once you travel a mirror, the Gray Irma will leave a part of the behind, another clay copy of her which will be waiting for you when you return. This copy is you is a blast past self before entertaining the mirror. Therefore, this copy is armed with your special where you have to vacate it. Beyond being just a cool moment, this is an absolute standout gameplay mechanics, especially given the context of the story. Defeat this past version of yourselves and your special attacks is given back. More than that, you can choose from the other special attacks. If you feel like mixing it up, additionally all of these moves are just beautifully animated, absolutely stunning war from the Black Mermaid. Like all good Souls-like, there are boss fights, and there is where a trial and error approach will come in. Bosses in Moonscars do generally ramp up the challenge, understanding parry timing, amulet stones, witcheries, and attack patterns are a cornerstone of successful to each boss fight. Beyond being armed with a beautiful animated melee moveset, you also have access to Witchery. Witcheries are magic-based movements you can purchase and update through a skill tree. There are many more to choose from, and you can have two equipped at the one time. I mostly opt for creating doppelgangers of Gray Irma and an auto-targeting projectile known as Chain Boulder for the airborne enemies. My other favorite witchery is named Wormhole, which when used appears on the ground, pulling enemies into the void whenever future damaging over them time and then exploding. Experimenting with these abilities and finding your favorites is good fun. Whale is some more powerful than others, and witcheries feel whaleable. Using the Witcher's consumables ichor, which is the lore, is a fluid that courses through the humans, allowing them to use magic. You can also use ichor to heal. Choosing what to see it for in the moment can be different between the success and the failure. Combining witchery with the melee combat and special attacks allows you to create a symphony of violence where Gray Irma is orchestrator. Once you get the combat down, Gray Irma will glide across the gothic scenery with the brutality and grace. Moonscars offers a perk system known as amulet stones, which you can find within the world. You can equip any 3 at time 1. Some of these amulet stones will be consumed upon the death, so using them at the right time is key. Certain amulet stones offer much more than others, such as being invaluable wishless healing. Much like every Souls-like in existence, Moonscars has a soul currency equivalent in a bone ash, which of course are lost upon the death. Naturally, there is also opportunity to retire them, all of which feels very familiar at this point. The currency itself can be used to buy the witcheries, upgrade those witcheries, and purchase the element stones at Mirror or at the workshop. Another consumable item is the ichor glands. These glands are more finite and can be used to change your special without having to battle with your past self. Having said that, you might want to hang out those glands. When you die, the moon becomes vengeful and the game gets more difficult. During this state, enemies will take more damage and deal more damage. Offering an ichor gland to the moon in a sacrifice is what's called a moon rite. This will satiate a hunger for one life, so use them very wisely. Enemies within the Moonscars are equally well designed, offering variety and visual clues to assist in learning how you might need to approach each fight. The clay soldiers with the smiling faces, shields, my favorite in the terms of the design, equally as memorable as they are creepy. Moonscars has a soundtrack that is perfectly tailored, with a gothic and ambient, benefiting of its environment. Its use of the choir or vocals and the other layer with the wonderful captured audio. The color palette, the soundtrack, the gothic landscape, the unlikely design characters, and creepy enemies makes for a suitable dark and atmospheric world. Many of these aspects combine and create a feeling of oppressive solitude, which goes a long way in the Souls-like genre. Throw its sick animations and you got a recipe for one of the most aesthetically pleasing games of the year. When it comes down to replay the value, it will mostly come down to cleaning up some side quests and some trophy hunting. The moments-to-moment challenge will likely put you some off, especially once they finish the Moonscars. Combining its masterfully exhausted aesthetic world with the visceral and responsible skill-based combat makes Moonscar a must to play. So far I think is the best 2D Souls-like yet. Thank you so for watching, dear subscribers. Have a good one. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and something else. Hit the like button. Bye.